White Sox hosting the Blue Jays, and the Blue Jays are minus 120 on the money line. The White Sox are plus 108. The over-under is 9 runs. Toronto, laying a run and a half on the run line, are plus 128, meaning if you bet them that way, they must win by 2. And the White Sox, getting a run and a half on the run line, are minus 154, meaning if you bet them that way and they win this game outright, you win. They lose by 1, you win. Bassett pitched once against the White Sox this year. 6 1/3, 2 runs, 2 earned. They won that game 5-2. He struck out 4. That was in Toronto. The Blue Jays are 5-5 as a team in his last 10 appearances. He's averaging 5 2/3 innings pitched and 6 strikeouts per game in his last 10 appearances. Giolito pitched twice against the Blue Jays last year. Not some very pretty outings. 4 2/3, 6 runs, 6 earned. They lost that game 6-5 in Toronto. He did strike out 8 batters in that game though. And then 5 innings, 7 runs, 7 earned. They lost that game 9-5. In Chicago, he struck out 3. The White Sox are 6-4 as a team in his last 10 appearances. He's averaging 5 2/3 innings pitched and 6.7 strikeouts per game in those games. So he's someone who you'd like to keep an eye out for on the K line. It just depends upon if he's on or not. He could be on and still give up 7 runs, as we clearly saw in the numbers. Head-to-head, the home team is 8-2. The home team's on a 3-game winning streak. The Blue Jays are on a 4-game winning streak. The Blue Jays are 7-3 against Chicago in their last 10. The favorite has won the last 4 games. The favorite is 7-3 on the money line. The favorite winning these games by 2 runs or more, laying a run and a half on the run line, is 6-4. There have been 3 one-run games in their last 10 meetings against each other. None in their last 4. The under has hit in their last 3, although the over is 7-3 in their last 10, and the over 9 specifically is 7-3 in their last 10. Now, mind you, this is overnight, so the wind is probably going to change. It's blowing in towards dead center field at 5.8 miles per hour. Use a website like covers.com. It's where I get a lot of my information from. It'll also give you a map of the stadium and directions of which way the wind is blowing and what the weather is like. Now, the last game that they played against each other, the Blue Jays won 8-0. The game before that, the Blue Jays won 7-0. The game before that, the Blue Jays won 5-2. All of those games were this year in Toronto. The Blue Jays are on a 3-game winning streak. They're 1-3 in their last 4, 5-5 in their last 10. The over is hit in their last 2, and the over is 5-4-1 in their last 10 games. There was a total of 3 runs, 5 runs, 13 runs, and 9 runs in their last 4 games. They scored 2 runs in a win. They were shut out in a loss. 6 runs in a loss. 4 runs in a loss. For the White Sox, they are 2-2 in their last 4, and they are 5-5 in their last 10. The over has hit in their last 5 games, and the over is 6-4 in their last 10. There's a total of 16 runs, 11 runs, 13 runs, and 15 runs in their last 4 games. They scored 9 runs in a win, 4 runs in a loss, 6 runs in a loss, 8 runs in a win. I'm going to take the Blue Jays with the money line. I'm going to take the Blue Jays laying the runs, and I'm going to go over in this game. These are just my picks. If you disagree, please go with your gut, and please bet responsibly.